consciously aren't typically aware of it, but your unconscious mind is just freaking out because what's at risk is everything. The other sets of beliefs tend to be that things that people will do to us if they don't like what we did, which could be, you know, kill us, torture us, shame us, humiliate us forever, enslave us. I mean, you know, we have thousands and thousands of years of human history that if people didn't like your behavior, you could get in really, really big trouble. And if they didn't like what you said or wrote or did or painted, you could get in life-threatening trouble, but at least shame and humiliation. Now, we live in a time, and most of us live in countries where, you know, that's just not the situation. In fact, being controversial can make you rich and famous nowadays. But still, we have this deep energetic programming. So in a moment, we're going to do our first clearing. Now, if you're new to energetic NLP, a couple of things. One is it's not about effort. It's about allowing, or we use the word permission. So it's about having intention, giving permission, and then being playful and just see what happens. Paradoxically, the easier and more playful you are, the stronger it will be. I remember in a class I was in years ago, they had us do this energetic process where you would dissolve old programming. And we did it. And then they said, now do it again, but use a tenth as much energy. And we were all shocked that it worked better. Then they said, now do use a tenth, in other words, 100th of the original energy. And they kept having us do it. And the less effort, the less energy we used, the easier it was. So this is a no effort zone. And the other thing is just know that when you do energetic and spiritual work, the programming that's trying to keep you enslaved to other people's opinions will try to protect itself. Now, when I say enslaved to other people's opinions, I don't think it's bad or wrong. All societies were authority-based. And there's all this programming to do what people tell you, do what the authorities, the elders tell you. Now, when you're a child, that probably makes a great deal of sense. And the kind of people that are attracted to energetic NLP are people that know that they're, on some level, there's this amazing being. They want to manifest that, and they know that they really can't live their lives by other people's truths. Doesn't mean we need to be opposed to other people's truths, but we need to be in touch with our own. And there's very few people who ever come to any of my programs who don't really very strongly feel that need to contribute to the world authentically out of their inner wisdom and spirit, out of their miraculous self. So what happens, though, is it's a little bit like when you get a computer virus. Some computer viruses have programs in them that protect the virus. I remember I got one years ago, and it shut down my virus checker. It's like, and part of me went, well, that's clever. So you do things, and then they try to defend themselves. In a similar way, much of the programming you have tries to defend you, and that defense takes the form of resistance. And a lot of people think that resistance is a bad thing, and they also see it as a sign of whether they're on the path or not. So a lot of people believe that, oh, if I'm on my spiritual path, everything flows and the door is open and it's all synchronistic. And certainly that's true a lot of the time. And in the energetic NLP programs, we teach people to have more positive synchronicities in their lives and more flow. But often when you're really about to make a big change, it's the opposite. Things go wrong, things get in your way, because the programming is trying to protect itself, or you get sleepy all of a sudden, or suddenly you don't have time. In the energetic NLP programs, I'll teach people to do these processes that just take 10 minutes a day, 5 minutes in the morning, 5 minutes at night, and sometimes people can't find time. Now, they may have watched TV for an hour, but they can't find time. And and I've had the same experience, and it isn't that you can't find time, it's just that the programming keeps telling you, oh, you don't have time, or you have to do this. It's a little bit like, at least when I was in university, during finals week, oh, I have to write that letter I didn't write my parents, and oh, I need to clean my room. And you see people doing all these things that they've been putting off for 3 months, but they have to do it right now because it was better than studying math or organic chemistry or English literature. So when resistance comes up, don't resist it. Just go, that's interesting. And you can even get to the point where you go, oh, good, I must be up to something really important because my resistance is coming up. So you only need to do a couple of things in this call. One is to set your intention. And in this case, the intention that we're going to finish more and release our work into the world so that it can do good and help us and help the world. And the other part is, so to have that intention, and the other part is to give permission for it to happen. So in a couple minutes, we're going to start working with a lot of very powerful energies. And your own miraculous self, your inner wisdom and spirit, will be in charge of what happens for you. So everybody will be having their own individual experience of the energy. And I really urge you to give permission to your miraculous self, your wisdom and spirit, to be completely in charge. Because if you can't trust your inner wisdom and your spirit, what in the world could you trust? And they're much more on top of it than your conscious mind. And they know what your conscious mind wants. So giving 100% permission for your miraculous self to use the energies that come in to clear old programming and beliefs, to heal old traumas and issues related to not finishing things, and to open up and enhance your natural abilities, the natural flow of being able to be creative and finish and release. There's one more part, I'll just mention it right now, we'll work on it later, is, and it's interesting, the woman who wrote the book Eat, Pray, Love, she has a wonderful video in one of those TED Talks. It's only about 18 minutes, and she's talking about creativity. And one thing she talks about is sometimes it really comes from inside of you, but other times it feels like it's given to you. And she mentions one woman, a very famous poet, and the woman described it as almost like a wind coming across, and she can sort of feel a poem coming. And she has to like run somewhere where she can write it down, because when it hits, it just hits, and it's there. And I think she did say she learned one time to kind of go, now wait until you get a pencil or something. But people have always talked about channeling or inspiration or the muses. So people have recognized that the creativity comes from inside of us, but sometimes it's a gift. And one of the things I'd like us to do on this session is also, if you want it, have the intention to open up to more of that incredible gift of creativity being given to you. A lot of people, like authors, talk about, they go, it's like the book just was there, I just had to write it down. J.K. Rowling, who did the Harry Potter books, it all just came to her, like the whole series, just in this whole vision. Mozart would just write down the music because he heard it. So again, it's about using our inner resources and creativity, but also being able to tap into these gifts that are there. And again, depending on your own beliefs, where you think they come from. Okay, so have the intention that as a result of what we're doing today, you're going to greatly enhance your ability to finish and release things, knowing that you may need to listen to parts of this again, go through the processes again to really strengthen that. And give 100% permission for your miraculous self to use the energies that are coming in, and to use them in such a way that you can, that it will clear old blocks, programming, other people's energy, heal old wounds and traumas, and open up your miraculous self into your life, and open up your amazing abilities to create and finish and release. And I'm just, those of you that are new to my work, one of the things I teach a lot in energetic NLP is remote energy work. So, and that sounds like this mysterious thing. When you get into it, you realize it's very, very ordinary. And just with the briefest explanation, in physics they talk about energies that are non-local, meaning they're everywhere at once. Well, you can tap into human energies that are essentially non-local, so that, like I work with people all the time that are 3,000 to 6,000 miles away from me, and it's not any different than if we're in the same room. Energetically, it's exactly the same. So every now and then, I'm going to pause and I'm trying to get a sense of the group's energy. And very often I adjust what I'm doing to fit the themes of the group and what's going on with the group. And if you are on the Facebook page, you can use the comments section to ask me questions or share experiences or ask for help. I believe on the Google page, you should be able to also use the chat function there, the comment function. Again, I apologize. I've been practicing with this a lot, but when you're the host, things are different. And I don't always know for sure what's happening for other people. So, and ultimately, it won't matter. If you have a question or want some help, just think it at me. And I'm not saying consciously, but on some level, I'll pick it up. Okay, so give me one moment to adjust something. Make sure this is working. Yeah, so the comments are working. Somebody let me know they can see the slides just fine. So please use that. And then there's also the Facebook page. Okay, so everybody take an easy deep breath. Now I will describe things often as visualizations. And for those of you that don't visualize well, it's irrelevant whether you visualize consciously. Unconsciously, your miraculous self can see everything just fine. So if you see it in pictures and flaming holographic letters, that's fine. If you think of it in words, it works every bit as well. If you kind of get the feel of it, that works. If none of those are happening for you and just pretend it's happening, it works just as well as anything else. So we're going to set our group energy space. Imagine a giant gold ball of energy, and that all of us are inside of it. And this is our create a process, finish, and release space. And at the end of the call, we'll dissolve it. And by the way, that doesn't mean we're mixing up all of our energies. It's like if we were all in a room together having a party, it doesn't mean we have to mix our energies up. It just means we're in a space together and we're creating an energy field together. So the gold ball is this energy field that we're all in. And let's set the intentions for that. The intention is that every single one of us, and I'd like you to hold this intention, every single one of us, whether they're listening to the live broadcast or if they're listening to the recording, that every single one of us will get an incredible enhancement in our ability to finish and release, whatever that means for that person. So please hold that intention and give 100% permission for all of us to really, really benefit. And again, resistance may come up, like, well, is it possible, or am I doing it right, or maybe it'll work for other people, but not for me, blah, 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 I'm not worthy. And the way to deal with that resistance for right now is just to, if a lot of you are familiar with the concept of mindfulness, just notice it. Don't fight it, don't feed it, just go, uh-huh. The resistance has absolutely no power unless you give it power by fighting it. Just go, uh-huh. It's like if you were driving a car with a young child to the doctor and the young child went, you have to stop the car right now, and we're going home, but it was important to go to the doctor. You'd go, oh, I understand, you're scared, and we're going to the doctor. A little bit like that, but even more neutral, like, okay, I hear you, and I am going to change these things. So again, imagine giving 100, not imagine, state in your mind, I'm giving 100% permission for my miraculous self to use these energies to greatly enhance my ability to finish and release. So that's looking better. Those of you that are sensitive to energy can probably feel the difference. Now imagine the earth is sending energy up into our gold ball, grounding each one of us and grounding our space, and sending up nurturing energies, because everything that gets created in our physical world uses earth energy. And then, according to your own beliefs, imagine spiritual help coming into the gold ball. Whatever that means to you. And if you have no spiritual beliefs, then you can believe nothing's coming in. But if you believe in God or goddess or angels or guides or Vishnu, Shiva, or Buddha, or Queen Yan is a saint, or whatever you believe. Just the important thing is ask for help and give 100% permission. Ooh, that's good. To accept it. Now, you as a spiritual being always have the ability to go, I give permission, period, no matter what the resistance says. Okay, so we're finally ready to start our first really big clearing. Now, all you need to do is give permission and relax. Put your miraculous self in charge and let the energy start flowing in you, in your body, in your energy field. Clearing old programming, beliefs, other people's energy and limitations, old fears. If you believe in past lives, you can imagine the energy clearing out um, limiting influences from past lives. And remember, your energy field is sort of like an egg shape around you. It goes above your head, 3 meters, 9 feet, below your feet, at least 1 meter, 3 feet, in front of you, behind you, left and right. So your energy field is in that whole field, and it's also in your body and in your energy centers. So just let the energy work wherever it needs to work to start clearing the blocks to finishing and releasing. And thank you to everybody who said hi. I apologize when you hear clicks, but I need to go between screens, and so you'll hear when I'm clicking. To go between Facebook, Google Plus, and some other things. Okay, easy deep breaths, and we're going to turn up the strength of the energy. Remember, no effort, just permission. Sorry, somebody's having some problems. I just trying to type them a solution. Easy deep breaths. Right now, for everybody, the energy is really concentrating in the crown energy center on top of your head. There's a tremendous amount of programming in everybody's crown. The goal is you want to get rid of programming and beliefs, in my opinion, and a lot of people's opinion. But there's no vacuum created, because as you let go of the programming and beliefs, your miraculous self, which is, again is your spirit and your inner wisdom, immediately replace these old programming and beliefs and other people's programming and beliefs with your inner wisdom and with your spiritual information. When I say your spiritual information, not what you consciously think necessarily, but what your spirit is trying to tell you. So the more programming and beliefs that you shift, the more you can live your life out of your own wisdom and spirit. And again, faster is not always better, more is not always better. Your miraculous self will do just the right amount. The energy is also working a lot in people's heart's energy centers. And their first energy center, which is the base of the spine, the root energy center. And the connection there, so the crown energy center has a lot to do with your connection to your spirit and to spirit. Your heart energy center has a lot to do with how you bring spirit and the earth together, your physical life and non-physical life. Words always sort of fail. They come together in your heart. Your heart, of course, is also, you can think of it as the center of your heart's desires, what you truly want to do in life, what your spirit and wisdom hunger for you to do, what your soul hungers for you to do. And the heart is just full of programming and shielding and protection. And let your miraculous self clear any of that it thinks would be good for you. We tend to build up all these layers and layers of protection in our heart, and at one time we needed them. And unfortunately, we don't have some automatic mechanism as we grow and evolve through life that just goes, oh, I don't need that anymore. Or maybe that was never mine. That was my father's or my mother's, or again, if you believe in past lives, from another lifetime even. So just set the intention and give permission that your heart energy center is going to be rejuvenated and made more and more authentic and made more and more so that your heart's desires just flow out into your lives. And I personally don't believe fulfilling your heart's desires is only one way to do it. Whatever you're doing, whether it's mundane or profound, can be in alignment with your heart's desires or not. So easy deep breath. Another easy deep breath would be great. The energy is working all around you now. Now the energy is going to change a bit. So take an easy deep breath. I'm going to be working with some different energies. Now the energies are going to change and be very significantly different. And the emphasis on these energies is more about the um, opening up your miraculous self more into your life, opening up your natural desire and flow to finish things and release them into the world. That's in all of us. So these energies will sort of open that door so it's more present. And the energies will open more of that door to uh, that spiritual help that, again, that artists, painters, writers, every business people talk about it. Just this incredible flow of energy that provides often answers and ways to do things and directions to go and visions. So, easy deep breath. Remember, no effort. And also keep in mind, there's a lot of versions of this. Sometimes people use the word grace. And the idea behind concepts like grace is is to counter to the normal program when we get to, are you worthy, are you deserving? And grace is saying that spirit helps us because it wants to, because it loves us, not because we're worthy or deserving. There was this pretty awful movie called, I think, Fred Claus that I saw on a plane. And Fred Claus is Santa Claus's brother, who's a real screw up and everything. And comes to North Pole and almost ruins everything. You ever see the movie? This wouldn't ruin anything. It's not that deep of a plot. But I have a theory that no matter how stupid a movie is, there's going to be at least one profound line in it. And Fred Claus is talking to Santa Claus, and he goes, "You know how, like, if a child is bad, you give them a lump of coal? Well, maybe that's wrong. Maybe every child should get a gift, and maybe they would become better." And I remember thinking, in this incredibly stupid movie, here's this very profound moment because, we all accept the idea of Santa Claus being punishing children, which is pretty bizarre when you think of the spirit of Christmas. Here's jolly old Santa Claus deciding who's good and bad and punishing them. And of course, again, the idea of grace is the spirit wants you to do these wonderful things. So really, yeah, okay, that helped. Just open up to the possibility. Okay, take some easy deep breaths. And we want to be really grounded. We're going to do some more energy work before we finish. There's a lot of ways to ground. The way I'd like you to do it right now is to let the earth do all the work. And what grounding is connecting your energy field to the energy field of the earth, so you get the nurturing and the help and support of the earth. If you look at people that are really good at anything practically, like athletes or singers or anything, writers, business people, very often they get really grounded. You can see them, they're here, they're present. The earth's part of them, they're part of the earth. So imagine a tube of energy, at least 3 feet, a meter wide, and let the earth send it up from the heart of the earth, and let the earth do all the work. Let it come near the base of your spine, not touch the base of your spine, but near it. And give the earth permission to only connect with your true energy. So again, if we have these energy fields that are full of energies that aren't necessarily ours, you don't want to ground other people's energy into you. Give the earth permission to only ground your energy into you. And a really nice way to visualize that, or think of it, is you can pretend that in your energy body, there's a point of light for every cell in your physical body. So in your energy body, there's a point of light for every cell in your physical body. And when the earth grounds you, every point of light goes in the cell it belongs in. Just like pop. And all the other energies stay floating. And then give the earth permission, working with your miraculous self, to start drawing out of your space other people's energy, whatever energies, again, your miraculous self wants you to release right now. So the earth is vacuuming out of you other people's energies, and then the earth is in return filling you with more of your energy and with supportive earth energies, supportive, nurturing earth energies. Okay, and then we're going to take, not a break, but we're going to be doing some things before we do the next process. It's good to like pat your body, you can stomp your feet, stretch a little bit, all these things that will help ground you, get you back in your body. One thing I didn't mention before, we're working with really high frequency energies. If you're new to this, it's perfectly okay if you don't remember anything that I said. It's all recorded, you can watch it later. Often people do the best work when they space out, because that means you're letting go of conscious control and you're going to a higher energy level where magical things can happen. So if you're going, I don't remember much of what happened, that's great. I mean, if you remember it, it's fine too, but it's really